the Dallas Cowboys, the first thing we need to do, and on their goals sheet, right? Like the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. But the first goal that you have to hit is to win the NFC East. And so I think that the Dallas Cowboys did a really good job of taking steps on bettering their team this offseason and in the draft. But how did the other teams do in the NFC East? How did the Giants, how did the Eagles, how did the Redskins do? Did they make their teams better? Is it going to be harder to win the NFC East? All those questions being answered for you coming up right now. So first off, let's start with the Giants. They were a train wreck last year. They did terrible, right? They had a really, really bad season, but even though they had a really good team, or at least all the predictions of the Giants before the season came out, everyone was saying that they're going to be an unstoppable force. They have Marshall and they have Odell Beckham as wide receivers, and they have Shepard. They're going to be unstoppable, but they really sucked. And the two big reasons they sucked is because they have a good defense and they have a good receiving core. So the reasons they sucked is because of that offensive line and Eli Manning. Eli Manning, I still think, is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's above average, and he has the skills needed in order to win Super Bowls, right? He's won two. That can't be argued. But I do not think he is the greatest quarterback. I think he has some big-time accuracy issues. I think he can get rattled, and I think he can be beat. He's not Aaron Rodgers by any means. He's not any of these top quarterbacks. He's not his brother. And so the Giants, what they did this year, it really saddens me because they did a good job in the draft. So looking at their first-round pick, they take Saquon Barkley, running back from Penn State, the #1 running back in the NFL draft this year. I didn't think it was the greatest pick by them. I think they should have taken if they were going to go this route, they should, to bolster that offensive line, I would have gone with Quentin Nelson. I would have gone with the Chubb defensive end. I would have got, pass rush. I think you could have found a really, really good running back in the second round. But they wanted the best running back in the draft. He is a very talented player. A lot of mock drafts and articles and a bunch of analysts and NFL scouts had him as the #1 pick or the #1 player in the NFL draft. I did not. I thought Quentin Nelson was a better player by position's sake. But Saquon Barkley is an incredible player, and it would be really interesting to see how his career unfolds. I will do a comparison with him and Zeke, who I like better, in a later video, but without going into too much detail, he's an incredible player. That is an A-plus pick. Their second pick, number 34 in the second round, was one of my favorite players in the entire NFL draft, Will Hernandez, offensive guard out of UTEP. He is a mauler. He's a big boy. He's incredible at blocking. I'm really excited to see what he does for the Giants. I mean, obviously, because I'm a Cowboys fan, I hope he's terrible, and I hope I was completely wrong. But everything that I saw pointed to a really good offensive guard and a really good run blocker. The third-round pick, they had two third-round picks. Lorenzo Carter, outside linebacker, Georgia. He is an incredible athlete. It'll be really interesting to see how he does. They picked him in order to help them stop people like Zeke in the upcoming games. And then in their second pick in the third round, they went and got B.J. Hill, defensive tackle out of North NC State. Really, really good tackle. I like this guy a lot. I was really hoping the Dallas Cowboys might have a chance to pick him. And then in round 4, they got a quarterback by the name of Kyle Lauletta. I also like this guy a lot. Good developmental quarterback, good pick. So I'm not going to go any further in the rest of their draft picks. I don't even know if they had any more. I think they were really short on draft picks this year. But with the draft picks they used, I would give them an A+. They really made their team better. They gave themselves a better chance at offensive line, even though they're still missing an offensive tackle. They gave themselves a very, very good running back. They gave themselves a good linebacker. They gave themselves a good D tackle. So I'll be interested to see how they do. I really like what they did. I think that you're giving Eli every chance to be a good quarterback and in a chance to win. They still need more linemen. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You need more linemen for that to protect Eli and to have a good running game. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But as where they're picking, I would give them an A+. Now, here's the thing. It's not that hard to have an A+ draft when you pick second. It's just not. It's much more difficult. Like, I'm going to give the Eagles an A. It's much more difficult when you have the very last pick in the first draft to have a good draft. And so I'm going to give the Giants an A+, just, mainly because previous drafts, I thought they've done terrible, even though they've, even with them being, mid-round picks. And so I'm going to give them an A+. That's what I'm giving. Second up was Redskins. I'm going to give them a B. So I like their first two picks. And I wasn't going to mention fifth rounds, but I actually really like their fifth round pick. But everybody else I thought was, all right, okay, sure, why, okay. I think there are better players on the board. I'm just going to say it right now. So anyways, first round pick, they pick out Geron, Payne, a DT out of Alabama. I was actually hoping that the Cowboys might have a chance to pick this guy. Good 3-tech, I believe, is going to go with their other Alabama defensive tackle, Allen, that they picked last year, who fell to them. They would have. I think this is going to be an interesting defensive line. They picked this player to stop Zeke. That's what they did. And now Saquon Barkley. That's who they picked this player for. And they're definitely going to need this as the team. As you can tell, like the teams in the NFC East saw what the Cowboys did and now trying to mimic that. So it's really interesting. Good pick. I think he was a solid pick. Second round pick, they picked Derrius Guice, running back at LSU. This was interesting. I thought that Derrius Guice was probably your second best back in this draft. This is who I would have picked if I was the Giants. I would have gone Quentin Nelson as your first pick, waited to the second round to get Derrius Guice. That's what I would have done. But Derrius Guice, really, really solid player. They have Alex Smith there, who I'm not afraid of. I'm not scared of Alex Smith, but he is used to having a good running back in Kansas City. They go get a good running back. Derrius Guice, interesting. So the third round pick was Geron Christian, offensive tackle, Louisville. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it for the third round pick. They're 74th picking overall. There are better tackles on the board at the moment, and then there was just better players on the board. So I don't get this pick. I don't think it was a great pick. Pick number 9 in the fourth round, or 109 overall. Troy Apke, safety out of Penn State. I think they were just trying to pick a safety to add more depth there, but I do not think he was that great of a pick. But their fifth round pick, number 163 overall, 10 settle defensive line over Virginia Tech. This is actually one of my favorite late round defensive tackles, a guy who I would have been very excited for the Cowboys to pick up. And they grabbed him, snatched him right underneath the Cowboys. So based on all this, I'm going to give them a B. Their first two picks I thought were good picks. I think their last pick, or not their last pick, but their fifth round pick was a good pick. But the other two, I'm not real sure of, and I'm not really a big fan. So I'm going to give them a B to go for. So, and then we go to Eagles. They had the last pick in the first round. They ended up trading back and then trading up right in front of the Dallas Cowboys to get Dallas Goedert, tight end out of South Dakota State. This was, in my opinion, the best tight end in the draft. Some people like Gesicki and some of the other tight ends. I thought this was the most well-rounded tight end. He could block. He could go off for pass catches. This guy is a weapon. I'm really nervous about this guy. Out of all the players that the Eagles have to give their quarterback, the redhead, another weapon like this, I think was a solid pick. And the Eagles are going to be dangerous. They won the Super Bowl last year, so going into it, you kind of have to assume that they're going to be really, really good and to add a good tight end like this. I think that was a great pick. Also, they had 2 4th-round picks. Number 125, Avonte Maddox, cornerback out of Pittsburgh, solid pick for the 4th round. And number 130, Josh Sweet, defensive end. Always good to add defensive end pass rush to their already bolstered pass rush. They already have such a good pass rush. Why not throw? The rich get richer, right? So based on the fact that they didn't have very many picks, what they picked, I liked. I just did. I like these players going in, and the fact that they got them, I thought it was a good, solid picks. So I gave them an A. And then the Cowboys, just real quick, I'm just going to run back through this. I've already talked about this, but in my previous video, go check it out. But Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker at Boise State, I thought that was a really good pick. I liked it better after I did some research. When I first saw him, I was a little disappointed, but then after I did some research, I'm falling more and more in love with this guy. Connor Williams, big-time offensive tackle, mean, powerful, going to be a great left guard for us. And this makes the offensive line, again, the focal point and the strength of the Dallas Cowboys. Watch out. They are going to have the best running game in the NFL next year. Way too early predictions. It's going to happen, guys. And then they had Michael Gallup, wide receiver at Colorado State. Really love this guy. Great pick, guys. Great pick. The only reason why he might not have been a great pick is because Ronnie Harrison was still on the board. Safety out of Alabama. Would have liked him. To be honest, I'd pick defense over offense. It's just my preference. However, the Dallas Cowboys is built around their offense and the ability to score points. So I can't fault him there. Dorrance Armstrong Jr., he's an edge rusher. He was a top 100 player and a 3rd-round grade picked in the 4th round. I can't fault them for getting a value pick there. And Dalton Schultz, tight end. This is not my favorite pick. But I think he's going to add a lot of depth, and I think he can come and compete for a starting role with the Dallas Cowboys. And then Mike White in the 5th round, quarterback, really developmental player. I'm excited to see what he does, to see if he can come to compete for maybe a second backup quarterback role. I don't think so, but we'll see what happens. So I gave the Cowboys an A. Here's what I'm getting at. The Giants had an A+ draft to me. The Eagles had an A draft. The Redskins had a B draft, and the Cowboys had an A draft. The NFC East is going to be the hardest, the best division in football next year. And anyone that wants to argue that, the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. How can you say that they're not going to be this is not going to be one of the most difficult divisions to play in with the Eagles winning? I just don't. You don't have an argument. You just don't. So I'm excited to see what happens. I think this is going to be a scary division. I think everyone's going to be good. The only ones I don't think is going to be good are the Redskins. And the Cowboy fans that don't like the fact that I'm saying that these teams are going to be good, you're just living in denial, right? You just want to pretend like the Giants, even though they had an A+ draft, even though they are really stacked on defense, even though that they have a quarterback who's won 2 Super Bowls, an offense of weapons on the as far as Odell Beckham, like they're going to be dangerous. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. The Redskins suck. I think they're going to still suck because they didn't get. I don't think they have a good enough draft to really change them. I don't think they did enough in free agency to really change that fact. And the Cowboys, I think that they fixed all the holes that they had last year to be, again, the type of team that was in 2016. So I think you are in denial if you don't think that this is going to be an amazing division and a really difficult one for the Cowboys to win out. Is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. I think the Cowboys can win. I think they have absolutely have the ability and a chance to do it. Is it going to be easy? No. This is not one of those easy divisions to win. This is going to be difficult. And so, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see these teams play. I always love beating them. I always love playing them. Those games are always the most fun. And so would love to hear what you have to say, guys. throw your comments below, throw your opinions below. What do you think of the Giants, Eagles, Redskins draft? Do you think it was good? How do you think that they're going to how much better are they going to be this next year as they are coming in again with the Eagles coming in after a Super Bowl win and the Giants really trying to fix that running game, offensive line? It's definitely going to be interesting. Not going to lie, guys. So like this, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. If this was trash, I'm going to continue to bring more and more good content about the Dallas Cowboys to you guys because I absolutely love talking about this. So, yeah. If you have anything you want to say, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Tell me why I'm wrong. Give me some proof. Have a good argument. And, yeah, guys. So, subscribe if you like this. And love you guys. Have a good one. Peace.